Hey everybody, Rob here with the Omnipresent Property Group, bringing you another edition of our video blog series designed to help you with all things buying, selling, or investing in real estate, as well as day-to-day home ownership and care. Now this week we're taking a slightly different twist on the video blog, and I've got Brooke Sullivan-Brown here with me, who is got some amazing information about correlating your overall health with wealth. So you're going to want to stick around. We got some great tips for you about how to make those two things play nice together, and we're going to dig into some great information coming up next. All right, so what's up guys? Here, like I mentioned, I'm here with Brooke Sullivan-Brown, who is a functional nutritionist and lifestyle coach, right? Yes. Basically, yes. Awesome, cool. So Brooke, let's to start off, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and if people have questions, you know, after they've seen this video, what's the best way to reach out and just talk to you about what it is that you could do for them?
Sure, they can always reach me by phone, which is 502-410-3630. So basically my background, I've been in health and wellness for the last 20 years, mostly as a massage therapist, kettlebell instructor. And over the past, health has been declining, and I noticed more and more people were coming to me asking me questions, what do you do? And so my nutrition path kind of evolved from there, that I was doing more nutrition coaching, and then I took my courses and launched my course, and I don't do much body work anymore, so now I'm nutrition and kettlebell coaching.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's interesting. So you know, as you guys know who see this video, if you see me anywhere outside of the real estate space, I'm pretty involved in my CrossFit gym and just staying, you know, doing my best to stay healthy. It's a huge benefit to our clients if I can keep myself in check. But overall, it's interesting as I'm watching what's happening in the health world in our country. It seems like we're spending a ton of money on health care, and yet, correct me if I'm wrong, really kind of on a state of decline as far as our overall personal health goes.
We're definitely on a state of decline. I believe that more and more people are becoming aware that we need to take care of our health. They just don't know how to go about doing that. And so they go and they get, for example, like low fat whatever, or gluten-free whatever, and they think that these are healthier choices, or Taco Bell and some other fast food chains are rolling out healthier options.
The miracle burgers and all that, or Impossible burgers and all that. Yeah,
and they're not much healthier. Like their sodium rate is skyrocketing.
Sure.
Or all of these, you know, fad diets, or kind of, I'm going to pick on the Atkins diet, which is also AKA another trendy diet. But if you're not creating the health to support that diet, or that philosophy, you're just creating a compounding effect of long-term healthcare issues.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And so, tying all this back to our main topic, how do you see the ability to create wealth and prosperity in your world? How do the two, as far as health and wealth, how do you see those? Can you give us maybe like your top 3 tips for tying those things together?
So my top 3 tips. Number 3 is your diet and lifestyle. Number 2 is knowing your why. Why do you want to become healthy? And your number 1 tip is your mindset. But let's go back to why, or how our choices create a depletion in our pocketbook. Yeah. So say we go and get a Mountain Dew. A Mountain Dew has sugar, so it's a non-nutrient. Yep. So we're depleting the minerals out of our bones, teeth. We're depleting our magnesium. We're depleting all kinds of nutrients, because it takes, for example, one molecule. So 1 molecule of sugar takes 50 molecules of calcium to break down.
Wow. Okay.
So
it's just a lot of hard work to break down something you didn't really need in the first place.
So then then you have to go to the dentist
Mm-hmm.
to get all those cavities fixed.
Yeah.
But then you have to, whatever, if you decide you're going to supplement so that you can increase your B vitamins and your minerals. Supplements are expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then say you don't do that, like there's just a compounding effect of this choice to eat this non-food versus maybe you just go and have some sparkling water instead.
Got it. Okay.
So there's always a compounding effect with the choices that you make.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
if you
really it
invest
starts with this most basic thing, and then
this most basic thing, and going on this compounding effect. If you read in my ebook, for one autoimmune disease, it costs 24% higher than regular premiums, and for every autoimmune disease after that, because autoimmune diseases are coupled, your health premiums increase by 5% per issue.
Wow.
Whoa.
So what we're talking about then?
How many Americans have autoimmune disease?
Oh my gosh, it's something you hear a ton of.
A ton of. There's over 100 different autoimmune diseases, and they're discovering more and more and more every day.
Oh my
if
gosh.
we just back that up, back it up, and go back to our diet and lifestyle.
Yeah.
So much is preventable.
So it's really not even about, initially when I started looking into this idea and having this conversation with you, my initial thoughts were, the obvious, the caffeine jumps to the crashes, the sugar crashes, that impacts your ability to produce on a regular basis. However, it goes beyond that. It starts at the most basic side of it, which is you're just going to spend more on healthcare, which is wealth that you're not maintaining, but rather giving away.
Sure.
Because of really simple decisions. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what you do now, as in investing, what you do today is going to affect you long term.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
Interesting.
If you go downhill or if you create your wealth this way.
Wow. Okay. So let's circle back around. Let's talk about kind of dig a little bit more into the tips. So the diet and lifestyle. If I jump online right now and I type, what's the best diet for me? Holy smokes.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing the rabbit hole you can get into. Talk to us about how do you see, what's the simplest way to figure out, how do people figure out how to eat and maintain a degree of health in their eating?
When I work with my clients, we go through an entire health history. So I want to see what is at your root. So I'm taking into consideration your genetics.
Okay.
Something that obviously we can't control, but then we can look at your lifestyle, your epigenetics, what are going to possibly trigger those genetics.
Sure.
And then what is contributing to possible inflammation.
Okay.
So what within your diet is causing inflammation?
Yeah.
Because inflammation, again, has a compounding effect and creates autoimmune diseases. So what are you doing to create inflammation? So that could be foods, that could be lack of sleep, that could be a lack of exercise or a lack of movement. So I don't necessarily say you should be doing ABC diet or protocol. We might modify, because the truth is if keto has been proven to be good for certain people for a certain amount of time, but it's not good for long term.
It's not really sustainable.
No.
Okay.
It's not. It's not sustainable, and with any diet you can be depleting. So you need to replenish as well.
Interesting. So it's really not a permanent, when we start looking at diet and how you're fueling the Ferrari, if you will, you're not making a permanent decision like this is what I'm going to do till the end of time. It's really about where am I today and how do I address any issues out of the gate, and then how do I create this degree of sustainability and interesting. Okay. So lifestyle, so that obviously it digs into the diet piece, but talk to us about lifestyle, and you brought up sleep, and I think it's huge in the entrepreneurial world. It's almost a badge of honor to say, you know, I operate on very little sleep and I'm always going. Talk to us about that though.
You hit the nail on the head. It is a badge of honor, and when you sleep, this is where your body regenerates itself.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you decrease your inflammation.
Yeah.
You are a better producer if you have had an adequate amount of sleep.
Yeah.
You're going to have clear-headed, but number one, like, and if you are reducing your quality, or if you're reducing the quality of your sleep, you have a more propensity towards anxiety, depression, all of those
things that'll creep
disorders
up on you without even really. It seems
Yeah.
like it's a slow thing that just and you, again
Yeah.
back to the compounding effect of it.
Compounding effect, and it's also, and I'm just going to throw this in there, like, we need to get rid of our screens.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to sleep better, we need to get rid of the screens in the bedroom,
Yeah.
because those mess up our hormones.
Yeah, it's interesting. I switched from, I've been using my phone as an alarm clock for as long as I can remember. Went back to a regular, digital alarm clock, and I actually find getting out of bed to be easier. Waking up isn't much different, but the fact is, with my phone right there, all it's doing is saying, hey, why don't you hang out in bed for a few minutes and stare at the phone before you bother to get up. Whereas now, 5 o'clock, the alarm goes off, I look at it for a second, question my decision-making process about being up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then jump out of bed and head to the gym. So, yeah, absolutely. I can see where that seems to be a big deal.
There's also, and if you do use your alarm clock or your phone for your alarm clock, there's nothing wrong with that if you put it in airplane mode. So you're not getting the EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies, which also might help. I mean, if you whip back to using that, you still have to go through the process of turning your phone back on, and it still has to reboot. So
you got to wake up a little bit to make it all happen.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So diet, lifestyle, so sleep is a big part of it. Is there a number? Is there a specific amount of sleep that you suggest, just as a basic frame of reference? Now, obviously, your level of activity throughout the day, you mentioned your body regenerating. There are some people who work out in a way that beats them up a little more than the way some others might work out. Is there a baseline that people should kind of shoot for?
The experts recommend between 7 and 9.
Okay.
It used to be 6 and 8, but they're definitely saying 7 to 9.
Stretch it out a little bit
now.
more. Okay.
Yeah, and having a regular bedtime and a regular time that you get up, and that's going to also help balance your hormones.
Okay, so that whole, the weekends here, I'm going to sleep in till 11 or whatever, that's actually not, that's more of a depletion and counterintuitive and counterproductive.
And don't get me wrong, when I sleep in on the weekends till 7:30.
Yeah, but the major episodes of you get up and it's time for lunch, that's a bad idea. Okay, awesome. So we talked about diet and lifestyle. Talk to us about the why behind it, because being healthy is not always easy. It seems like it can be very simple, but it's definitely not always easy. So talk to us about the importance of knowing why.
So your why is going to be your motivation. It's going to be your anchor. It's going to be when you're questioning, should I get up in the morning?
Yeah.
Do I need to go to the gym? Trust me. I have that conversation with myself every day.
How many people just jump out of bed at first thing in the morning, they're ready to roll?
No.
That can't be everybody.
Yeah, but then you anchor into, why am I actually going? Why is this important? Whether it's you want to fight heart disease, whether you want to play with your kids, whether you just need to be up so you're up before your kids so you can have your time.
Yeah.
Whatever your why is for being healthy, you need to anchor into that and really, really connect with that. And they when you're finding your why for business or whatever, they will say, if your why doesn't make you cry, you're not connected to it.
Not strong
and
enough.
It's not going to get you up in the morning. It's the same way with health. Heart disease is the number 1 killer across the globe. The globe.
That's insane.
And what can counteract that is diet and lifestyle. Okay, we live in Kentucky. Diabetes and heart disease, it's rampant.
Yeah.
And it's a culture here where so we just moved from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it was something that I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it isn't being emphasized how important the lifestyle changes could be to combat something that, frankly, could be preventable.
Yeah, and it's almost like you mentioned changes. They're not massive changes that you're looking for. I gotta believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you start working with a client and you really start digging into what's needed, it's a lot of very small things.
Yeah.
There's nothing, I can't imagine and of course there's outliers and there's gonna be exceptions. However, across the board, generally speaking, it seems like it just with small changes. Go to bed just a little earlier. Monitor the fuel that you put into your body just a little bit closer.
Yeah, and it's about making choices. Like if you're going to McDonald's every day, upgrade that.
Yeah.
Go to Panera.
Yeah. Yep. And would you say there's something?
You're talking about wealth, not to interrupt you.
Yeah, please.
If you are eating out every day and you want to upgrade, take your lunch.
Yeah.
Like that alone, you'll drop 15 pounds.
Man, that's crazy.
That alone.
And is it more a game of addition than subtraction? Like just instead of focusing so much on removing some of this bad stuff, maybe focus more
crowding out.
Yeah, almost like
out.
Displacement kind of thing. Yeah.
So if you're removing this, let's bring in some fruits and vegetables or some
get rid of the idle hands.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more about crowding out or taking deficiency to sufficiency.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. All right. So on your 3 tips, we've talked about diet and lifestyle. We've talked about why. Now go into the mindset piece.
Mindset is huge. Mindset is looking through the lens of how you see your world. So in relation to food, you want to look at where those relationships came from. Number one, like for example, how was sugar perceived in your house when you were growing up? For me, my mother, we never had sugar in the house. So I always went over to friends' houses and was like Oreo cookie, like, and just like
it was game on.
It was game on because I never had that at home. So now that's an interesting thing for me to navigate through, because now, like, yes, we don't do a lot of that stuff in the house, but I'll get around like, the bulk of food aisle, and I'm like, ooh, chocolate covered almonds. That's my weakness. So it's one of those things you have to figure out what your relationship is and how you're seeing and perceiving the rest of the world.
So just really taking a hard look at your worldview in general. And
then changing that. They say if you're looking at neurobiology, your most impressionable years are between 2 and 3 and 6 to 7.
Okay.
So during that time, how did your family relate to food? Did you guys sit down and eat? Was it always on the go and whatever? So whatever that...
People coming and going and getting what they needed when they needed it. And,
Yep. So that is going to lay the foundation for what you do later on. And this is true across the board. So what your money believes, your relationship beliefs, those impressionable years, that is what's going to play out in your 30s and 40s. Have you ever said, oh my God, I'm just like my mother?
Yeah.
I have said this so many times. And then I look back and I'm like, oh, that's why. That's why.
That's perfect. Okay.
Yeah, and so looking at that, what your relationship is, and then really countering that with like, okay, now I'm going to be conscious and I'm going to choose to change that mindset.
Great. So working backwards, you start with if you can get your mind right, that's going to create and develop a very strong why, which is going to make the whole idea of setting up these habits very simple and easy.
Exactly.
That's amazing. So awesome. One more time, Brooke, tell us a little bit about how if we've got somebody that got questions, maybe they're struggling with some of their own health issues, and they've tried anything they can think of, but they need that guidance, they need that help. What's the best way to contact you to maybe just ask some questions and see if what you could do for them would be a fit?
Awesome. Well, I always do a free consultation, so we can always talk and get to know each other, and I can kind of see where you are and what my suggestions would be. But my phone number is 502-410-3630, and then you can also email me at essentialwellnessmbs@gmail, and that's essentialwellnessmbs.
That's
at Gmail.
At Gmail, right? And then there's also a fantastic ebook that Brooke has put together. Reach out to her and get a copy of that for sure. I've been looking through it over the last couple of days. Some really great stuff. So, Brooke, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we appreciate having you. So, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. If there's any questions that Brooke can be of answer, be of help to kind of put you on the path to wellness. It's an amazing opportunity. Again, inside of our country, there's definitely a lot of opportunity for some help. Other than that, on the flip side of the coin, if there's you have questions about buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in the area, or just general home ownership questions, need a referral to a good trade or service, or somebody amazing like Brooke, reach out, let me know what you need. You can, of course, reach out to me through my website, omnipresenthomesgroup.com. Check me out on Facebook, or feel free to call or text me at 502-553-3277. As always, I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and if there's anything you'd like me to cover in future videos, please feel free to reach out and let me know what you'd like to hear about. Other than that, have an amazing day, and thanks so much.